In 2023, Illinois witnessed a shocking 18% surge in its homeless population, with the number reaching a staggering 103,141 individuals. This represents a 55% rise since 2013. A significant 41% jump compared to just 4 years earlier. According to the 2022 point-in-time count conducted by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, Illinois now has the 10th highest percentage of unsheltered homeless people in the country, with over half 51.9% living without adequate shelter. This marks a 21% increase since 2020, reflecting the escalating gravity of the issue. Cook County, which includes the city of Chicago, has been particularly affected. A 2023 report from the county estimated that on any given night, 69,115 people are experiencing homelessness, with nearly 45% of them unsheltered. This translates to approximately 50,085 individuals living on the streets, in vehicles, or in other unstable conditions. Estimates from the World Population Review in 2024 suggest that Illinois has around 26,371 chronically homeless individuals, accounting for roughly 21.6% of the state's total homeless population. Back in 2018, there were 8,158 chronically homeless people in Illinois, making up 16% of the homeless population at the time, indicating a sharp rise in recent years. Child homelessness is another pressing issue within the state. The Illinois Office of Homeless Youth reports that nearly 14,000 children experience homelessness each year, painting a dire picture of the situation. Adding to the strain on affordable housing in Illinois is the state's high refugee resettlement rate. According to the Pew Research Center, the state's undocumented immigrant population was estimated at around 539,700 in 2021. This number has grown dramatically over the years, from 11,000 in 1990 to 190,000 by 2005. Asylum seekers, who often face long waits for case decisions and limited access to employment and benefits, are at an increased risk of homelessness, further complicating the state's housing challenges. The cost of homelessness in Illinois. Illinois has been actively tackling the issue of homelessness with a hefty financial commitment. But the outcomes have raised questions. In the 2023-24 budget, the state allocated over $2 billion to housing and homelessness initiatives, continuing a trend from the 2021-22 budget, which had already dedicated $1.8 billion to similar efforts. However, the effectiveness of this spending is under scrutiny. The Illinois Interagency Council on Homelessness revealed that between 2018 and 2021, the state funneled $4.3 billion into combating homelessness, yet success has been limited. As the situation stands, projections indicate that ending homelessness in Illinois by 2035 could demand an investment of $27 billion over the next 12 years. In just the past 4 years, Illinois has poured nearly $6 billion into the fight against homelessness. Out of this, approximately $4.5 billion was distributed to local governments to support anti-homelessness initiatives, while $1.5 billion was allocated to various homeless programs, which also bolster local efforts. Cities like Chicago, Springfield, and Rockford have made significant strides in addressing this issue. Chicago and Springfield each allocate over $1 billion annually, with Springfield contributing hundreds of millions more. These funds are used for a wide array of services, ranging from essential needs like food and sanitation to more comprehensive support programs. Yet, the persistent challenge underscores the complexity of homelessness and the need for more effective solutions. What city has the most homeless in Illinois? Chicago stands out as the city with the highest homeless population in Illinois. According to the latest point-in-time count, the city grapples with an alarming 69,000 individuals experiencing homelessness. Of these, approximately 29,178 people are living unsheltered on the streets, while 39,173 have found temporary refuge in emergency shelters or transitional housing. These numbers not only highlight a critical issue within Chicago but also reflect a growing crisis across Illinois and the nation. More than 2 million people in the United States are currently facing homelessness. Adding another layer to this complex issue, The Chicago Family Foundation reveals that the city is home to around 154,342 immigrants from diverse backgrounds. Many of these newcomers confront significant challenges, such as economic instability and limited access to supportive services, which heightens their risk of becoming homeless. Homeless people are a major contributor to the rising crime in Chicago. In 2022, Chicago saw a dramatic increase in crime, with reported incidents soaring to 116,364. A staggering 5% rise from the previous year, according to the Chicago Police Department. As 2023 progresses, the city continues to grapple with these daunting crime challenges. Projections estimate around 45,000 violent crimes by the end of the year. Property crimes have surged even more steeply, increasing by about 13%, translating to 26 property crimes per 1,000 residents. Additionally, motor vehicle theft has risen by 14% compared to 2022. When examining overall crime rates, Chicago paints a concerning picture. The city's crime rate is higher than 32% of the nation. For residents, this means facing a 1 in 22 chance of becoming a victim of either violent or property crime, and a 1 in 36 chance of encountering property crime specifically. The high cost of living is a major reason for homelessness. Housing costs are a major factor driving the high cost of living in Chicago. According to Rent Cafe Cost of Living Calculator, the median home price in Chicago is $272,400. Significantly higher than the national average of $231,600. This makes homeownership a less attainable dream for many residents. Additionally, rental costs are substantially higher compared to the national average. According to the PayScale Cost of Living Calculator, the median rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Chicago is $1,500, while the national average is $1,060. This squeezes household budgets and reduces disposable income. According to sources like Rent Cafe, a studio apartment downtown can cost upwards of $2,500 per month, while a one-bedroom apartment outside downtown can range from $1,900 to $2,200. Two-bedroom apartments outside downtown are even more expensive, averaging between $2,300 and $2,800 per month. It's important to remember that these are just averages, and the actual cost of rent can vary depending on the location, size, and amenities of the apartment. Let's consider a resident named Sarah, who works as a teacher in Chicago, according to the National Education Association. The average salary for teachers in Chicago is $61,790 per year. After taxes and deductions, Sarah takes home approximately $4,332 per month. Faces a significant financial burden due to the high cost of living. Housing consumes a substantial 41.6% of her income, amounting to $1,800 monthly. Even basic necessities like groceries cost around $500, translating to 11.5% of her budget. Transportation expenses reach $100, accounting for 2.3%, while utilities add another $150 or 3.5%. With 20.4%, or $882, allocated for other necessities, Sarah has little wiggle room in her monthly budget. The demographics of homelessness in Illinois. Homelessness in Illinois paints a stark picture of inequality and hardship. Where certain communities are disproportionately affected, among the most glaring inequities is the plight of Black Illinoisans. Though they represent just 11.7% of the state's population, they make up over 37% of those relying on homeless services in the 2022-2023 fiscal year. This alarming statistic underscores a significant imbalance in both support and access to essential resources. Conversely, the data reveals that white and Asian American residents are less affected by homelessness, with white individuals comprising only about 19% of the homeless population. This discrepancy suggests that there may be deeper systemic issues at play, influencing who ends up on the streets and who has access to safety nets. The Latinx community faces its own unique challenges. Between 2020 and 2022, the number of Latinx individuals experiencing homelessness skyrocketed by 22%. a striking contrast to the 10% increase in the overall homeless population during the same period. This surge points to an urgent need for targeted interventions and support. When we look closer at who is most affected, single adults dominate the homeless demographic, representing about 70% of the total. Families with children, though a smaller group, still make up around 17% of those experiencing homelessness. Age is another crucial factor. A significant portion of the homeless population, over 43% of adult-only households, are individuals over 50. These older adults often face a perilous mix of financial instability, health challenges, and diminished social support, making it increasingly difficult for them to regain stability. Lost in the concrete jungle. The city of Chicago, a metropolis of towering skyscrapers and endless possibilities, also casts a long shadow of despair. Amidst the glittering facade of urban life, countless individuals battle against adversity. Their stories are often lost in the cacophony of the city. One such story is that of a 21-year-old girl, forced to navigate the harsh realities of homelessness on the city's unforgiving streets. Her name is Anya, a pseudonym that shields her identity from the world she has come to know. Once a bright-eyed dreamer with aspirations of college and a promising future, Anya's world crumbled when a series of unfortunate events stripped her of everything she held dear. The death of her parents in a tragic accident, coupled with the subsequent loss of her home to foreclosure, plunged her into an abyss of despair. The streets of Chicago, once a symbol of opportunity, became Anya's harsh reality. The biting winter winds, the scorching summer heat, and the constant threat of violence were her daily companions. Sleep was a luxury afforded only in brief, uneasy moments, snatched between the shadows of abandoned buildings. Hunger gnawed at her constantly, and her physical health deteriorated rapidly. Beyond the physical hardships, Anya faced a relentless battle against loneliness and isolation. The world had become a cold, indifferent place, where people hurried past without a glance. She learned to shield her vulnerability, to build walls around her heart to protect herself from further pain. Yet, beneath the hardened exterior, a flicker of hope remained. Survival became an art form. Anya developed a keen sense of street smarts, learning to navigate the complex web of shelters, food banks, and social services. She found solace and camaraderie in a small group of other homeless individuals, creating a fragile sense of community amidst the chaos. Despite the overwhelming challenges, Anya clung to her dreams. She spent countless hours in libraries, devouring books and expanding her knowledge. Education became her escape, a way to transcend her current circumstances. She found solace in writing, and soul into poems and short stories that captured the essence of her experiences. Anya's story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. It is a reminder that even in the darkest corners of society, hope can persist. Her journey is far from over, and the road ahead is fraught with uncertainty. Yet, with each passing day, she grows stronger, more determined to overcome the obstacles that stand in her way. Her story is a call to action, a plea for compassion and understanding for those who find themselves lost in the shadows of our cities.